Welcome back, everyone, to the Ted Reeve Arena, the 6th annual Clam Slam. I'm the Derby Nerd, joined now by Monochrome. Welcome to the mic, Chrome. Welcome back. You, of course, are watching ToRD TV here on layer9.ca. Thank you for tuning in to what has already been a pretty phenomenal Clam Slam, I have to say. Phenomenal opening game, and we are just getting warmed up. Welcome, everyone, to game number 2 of this North American all-queer, all-star roller derby game. I'm promising that this is going to be fantastic.
I don't doubt that for a second.
Very similar rosters from last year.
Yes. Yes, there are.
Missing you, of course.
Oh.
But
I'm here.
But you are here, yes.
You get to hear me instead of watch me skate.
That's right. But yeah, very similar rosters to the two teams that delivered an absolutely overwhelmingly phenomenal game last year. High-paced, very skilled, high-strategy game. Not super aggressive. Everyone's having a good time, but that lack of aggression almost allowed the teams an opportunity to really, really refine strategies and play a very tight kind of flat-track roller derby game, and it ended up being, I think, taking a lot of people off guard by how good it actually was.
Absolutely. I mean, you've got teams here that are represented by a lot of travel team skaters, so they might not be playing with their regular away game sort of rosters, but they have that knowledge, they have that skill. They're also working with players that they may meet up in playoff situations. So it's a good learning experience too, to sort of see how other players mesh and work and work on your strategy. Kind of takes the pressure off too. Like it is just a fun game, so you can really work on your strategy. And
but one of these fun games too that you also know you can trust the person next to you because you know that they have that skill to maintain it. All right, first we are going to say hello to the 2014 Clam Diggers. Clam Diggers are in white. First up, number... I should mention, sorry, before we get into the announcements, that I should mention that over these two games, 16 roller derby leagues are being represented. So who are some of the Clam Diggers? Number 21 from Toronto Roller Derby is Dyna Vagina. Number 31 is By Furious from Toronto Roller Derby as well. Number 52 is Rock E Road from the Hammer City Roller Girls. Number 69, MIRAMBO, a longtime Clam Slam veteran from Forest City. Also from Toronto Roller Derby, number 111, Hoe 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 NO, also known as Santa Muerta. Number 187, Homewrecken Holly from the Hammer City Roller Girls down the 401 in Hamilton. From Montreal Roller Derby, another longtime Clam Slam veteran, number 202, Nameless Horror, well-known skater in the Canadian roller derby community from Montreal. Returning to the Clam Slam from Toronto Roller Derby is number 510, Just Jes. Just Jes returning to skating this year after taking a year off. She'll be joined by GTA Roller Girls skater number 709, Newfie Bullet. Those in the know that 709 is the area code for Newfoundland and Labrador. From Toronto Roller Derby, a rookie, number 747, Machu Ichu, also known as Machu Picchu, MVP from the 2014 Beast of the East. Next up, number 911 from Tri-City Roller Derby, Fracture. She began her roller derby in Forest City. A legend almost in Ontario Roller Derby, number 1234, Lose Your Pants, known also as Lucid Lou. I think I can let the cat out of the bag. She's recently returned to Toronto Roller Derby. Will be skating with the Divas leading up until this year's draft. Aims to Please, 2 or 3. From Toronto Roller Derby. Hammer City Roller Girls, $3 is Cancer Candy. This is her second year at the Clam Slam. From Durham Region Roller Derby, Psy Show Bob, also known as Psycho Magnet for any fans from Durham watching this. Another Montreal roller skater, roller derby skater. This is her first year. Number 61X, La Planche. Welcome to the Clam Slam, La Planche. Big fan favorite in Toronto, and also from the 709 Derby Girls. So if you're watching from Newfoundland, here she is returning to the track after a long injury layoff. Number C3PO, Rainbow Fight, skates here in Toronto for CN Power. And finally, last but definitely not least, number M3OW or Meow. It's Glitterbox, better known as Murder Cat. She skates for Durham Region and also here in Toronto for Toronto Roller Derby. That is your 2014 Clam Diggers. On the bench for the Clam Diggers, Getcha Kicks and Low Blow Palooza, both from Toronto Roller Derby. Pretty impressive roster, Chrome. I've got to say.
Another impressive roster coming up are the Eager Beavers. Just be announced shortly. They're wearing the turquoise there in your screen. And we do have a returning skater. You had mentioned one before, and here's one we haven't seen at the Clam Slam a long time. Is Lock and Roll number 0. She's skating for Niagara Roller Girls, but she is a Toronto Roller Derby veteran. We also have from Naptown Roller Girls, number 316, Evan Hellical, returning for a second time Clam Slam now. Tri-City Roller Derby's Psykosonic, number 4. We also have Toronto Roller Derby's number 7, Rebel Rock This, otherwise known as Rebel Rocket. And from Tri-City Roller Derby, number 14 is AnneXXX. She's got triple X now for this particular Clam Slam bout. We also have Toronto Roller Derby's Rosemary's Gayby. She's also known as Rosemary's Rabies, number 15. Also from Toronto Roller Derby, you can probably hear behind me the siren sound of Bouche, also known as Mega Bouche or Mega Mouth, number 26. From GTA Roller Girls, number 52 is SoFearMe. From Toronto Roller Derby's number 65, Hoff. She skipped out last season and is back in the Clam Slam now. Again from Naptown Roller Girls, number 76, Maiden America. From Tri-City Roller Derby, number 420 is Sofonda Snatch, also known as Sofonda Beaten. Also back from injury. New name on the roster here, Toronto Roller Derby's ThünderKünt, number 867. She's also known as Betty Bomber, skates for CN Power. We have Tri-City Roller Derby's Fox, otherwise known as Fox Smolder, number 1013. And again from Tri-City Roller Derby is MW or Meow Wallace, number 1321. From Toronto Roller Derby, Ruby Pubie, also known as Belfast, is skating under 56.78. And for Niagara Roller Derby Girls, 15 Hoe is Axel LaRose. A couple more well-known skaters. Nasher skated in all 6 Clam Slams. That's Nasher the Smasher, number 214, 2x4 from Toronto Roller Derby. And last but not least, Naptown Roller Girls, 5 p.m. That's Trudy Bauchery. And that is your Eager Beavers. On the bench, managing is Tara Part and Mazel Tov.
2 very impressive rosters for the main event bout here at the 6th annual Clam Slam. We have 1st Division WFTDA skaters representing Toronto Roller Derby, Naptown Roller Girls, and Tri-City Roller Derby. We've also got skaters, of course, from GTA, from Niagara, from Montreal, from Durham Region, from Hammer City. But now we're going to send it over. Take a look in the middle of your screen, just to the left. That is Peaches. We announced it during the first game. She is our ceremonial whistleblower for this game. What a pleasure it is to have her here. An icon across the world, really. Filmmaker now, and of course, very, very famous musician. Just if you're watching this, you're coming into Toronto for Pride this weekend. You should maybe want to check out Peach's show on Saturday night. Yes. Might be a little bit of a roller derby crossover going on. I don't know how much I'm allowed to say, but you may just want to get yourself to the Peaches show on Saturday night if you're a roller derby fan. And there it is, the ceremonial first whistle blown by Peaches. And the game is off. It is Glitterbox jamming now in the white for the Clam Diggers, and it looks like she's going to head straight to the penalty box, but so is Maiden America. the jammer for the Beavers. Oh, and she missed the penalty box. And she's got to skate a whole other lap.
Oh. Brutal.
Welcome to Canada, Made in America. We're going to make you skate laps on the way to the penalty box. So that, of course, is going to mean we're going to have a dead pack as we wait for the jammers to switch out. Short power jam for each team. Glitterbox back on the track now. Clam Diggers with an opportunity here to strike first. This jam will go the full 2. There's a minute and 20 left. Lock and roll, locking on with some defense now. Sofonda Snatch knocking Glitterbox to the outside. Glitterbox resetting very quickly, trying to find a lane on the outside. Absorbing a couple hits, staying in. Whew, initial pass complete.
Oh, Made in America just eking on the outside. Down on her knee and is up again before the pack can reach her.
And now the Clam Diggers trying to slow things down as Glitterbox comes up to score. She's got 1 point there at the back. She's picked it up, coming through. Of course, neither jammer able to call it off. We got 50 seconds left. ThünderKünt with a big hit. Nice hit there from the pivot, Homewrecken Holly. Knocking Made in America working well with Just Jes and aims to please. Made in America having a hard time getting around turn number 1. Nice work from the Toronto Roller Derby blockers. Made in America, though, with a nice little pirouette, stays up on her toe, stops at turn number 2 and gets through. 4 points picked up. Wow. Glitterbox having a hard time with Sofonda Snatch. And ThünderKünt, speaking of WFTDA Division 1 skaters, Sofonda Snatch plays for Tri-City, doing a nice job working on Glitterbox, better known as Murder Cat. But Made in America has picked up another 5 points. Quite an opening jam from this game.
Let's just make it 2 minutes. And Peaches is released from the center of the track, and all is right with the world. Again,
a big thanks to Peaches blowing the opening whistle here at the Centennial Clam Slam. All right, and we've got Rainbow Fight against Ruby Pubie. 2 Toronto Roller Derby teammates. Rainbow Fight, of course, coming off of a long, devastating injury. She lacerated her kidney in March against game against Kalamazoo, but she looks no worse for wear, picking up lead jammer. Ruby Pubie about 20 feet behind her. Eager Beavers, unfortunately, at the back of the pack, and this might force Rainbow to call it off earlier than she would like. She does try to hit the pack and score some points. I don't think either team. Oh,
she
1
picked
point.
Up 1.
Nice job.
Take it.
I have a feeling points are going to be hard to come by in this game.
Well, and that was an important jam, I think, just as a skater, to sort of shake off those nerves. So you cut it off. No worse for wear. You've got your 1 little point, and now she can play a full, solid game now that she's got that jam under her belt.
On the line now, it looks like Cancer Candy jamming in the white for the Clam Diggers, and it's B Van Hellical. It's going to be Cancer Candy, though, picking up lead jammer for the Diggers. Eager Beavers now trying to get their jammer through. E Van Hellical has 1 to beat. It is Hoe 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 NO. And now it's not Psycho Magnet tonight. Psycho Bob.
I don't know.
Better known as Psycho Magnet from Durham region.
Sideshow Bob? Is that right?
Sideshow Bob, yes. Thanks. Oh, and a big hit from Hoe 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 NO on B Van Hellical. The end of that jam.
Does a little check-in, and there are 4 points now for the Clam Diggers. Tie game.
Yeah, tie game. 4.5 minutes in. We're back to 30-minute halves now. If you watch the first game of this Clam Slam, and you know they were 20 minutes. This is now back to 30. All WFTDA flat track rules apply. Lose your pants on the jam line for the Diggers. Is that Trudy Bauchery jamming for...
I can't see her behind that wall of white.
We're trapped at turn number 1. We're waiting to see now. Now we got to look at... it's
Psykosonic.
Psykosonic from Tri-City.
Lose your pants. Drawn back to the back of the pack by those Eager Beavers.
Oh,
she tries it inside line. Nasher the Smasher takes her out.
Pretty impressive line right now out there for the Eager Beavers, given Lose Your Pants. All she can handle is Psykosonic is now picking up points, and Psykosonic goes right in, hits Homewrecken Holly. Bounces off, but neither skater going down. SoFearMe.
Lose Your Pants is going to the penalty box. So this is a power jam now for the Eager Beavers.
Big opportunity here for the Beavers. But Psykosonic having a hard time getting through. Takes a big hit from Homewrecken Holly. Newfie Bullet also out there. Just Jes getting in on the action. Able to knock her out of bounds, but not able to drag her back. Homewrecken Holly with the big hit. Shrugged off by Psykosonic, who picks up 5 points. Aims to Please was trapped at the back, so Just Jes is going to go join her. There's a 2-wall at the back, 2-wall at the front on this power kill. Psykosonic quickly through in the inside. Nasher the Smasher tried to open up a lane. Couldn't quite do it. Lose Your Pants back on the track. Oh, and Lose Your Pants with a nice move to get to the outside, but runs into Fox Smolder and Nasher the Smasher. An intimidating duo that she faced off against and pushed out of play. 3 more points at the end of that jam for the Eager Beavers, who've kind of opened things up here in that power jam. 17-9.
Not too bad. Clam Diggers certainly held on to it.
Of course, in the last game, we saw a 55-0 lead erased. So no lead is safe here. Maiden America back on the line for the Eager Beavers. Can't see that jammer. We're getting the same view you are at home right now of that Clam Diggers jammer. She is well buried in that pack. There she is now standing up. So when you see her now, a big collapse and a collision. It looks like ThünderKünt maybe heading. Nope, no penalty called. MIRAMBO now working with Nameless Horror, doing a nice job dragging a Maiden America from the mighty Naptown Roller Girls all the way back. And as that happens, that allows the Clam Diggers to pick up a very important lead jammer status. That's La Planche. Her first Clam Slam from Montreal. Oh, a nice defense from both these packs at the front of the hall. Nameless Horror, the pivot, trying to hold Maiden America back, but La Planche not having much luck either against ThünderKünt. Getting knocked down by the outside by Lock and Roll. Nice jamming from both of these skaters.
And excellent balking from both these teams.
Nice job from La Planche to get through and finally calling it off as she saw Maiden America had also gotten through, and she's going to call it even on that jam. Correct me if I'm wrong on the Twitter account, but I believe La Planche played in the Fresh and Furious tournament here on this very track 2 years ago for Montreal's Smash Squad. Hoe 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 NO now out to jam for the Clam Diggers. Toronto Roller Derby fans may know her better as Santa Muerta, out against Ruby Pubie, who plays for Toronto's Death Track Dolls as Belfast.
And Hoe 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 NO is lead jammer Ruby Pubie. Just tiptoes her way on that inside line.
Nice battle at the back of the pack between Bouche and By Furious as Hoe 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 NO comes up to the pack, passes Hoff for at least 1 point. She's got to be careful, though. Ruby Pubie also scoring points, and I think this is going to be...
Might have been a steal.
Steal of 3, a 3-1 jam. Nice job by Ruby Pubie to steal 2 points and come out of that jam on top. Cancer Candy back on the line for the Diggers. Once again, the Eager Beavers jammer is buried.
Yep.
4-4 in the pack. ThünderKünt is the pivot in blue for the Beavers. Just Jes with the stripe for the Diggers. Cancer Candy with some nice juking inside out to get through and get lead jammer. Beavers down by 10, or Diggers down by 10, looking to come back. It's B Van Hellical jamming once again, able to break through a Homewrecken Holly block. Cancer Candy quickly back around those long strides, able to get around and get a point. She's got 1 now, 2, 3, and all 4 as she calls it off and goes down at turn number 4. Oh, only 3.
Only 3.
I guess she went down before she got that last one.
Yeah.
There is a fantastic crowd here at Tev Arena, enjoying the fine beer produced by local brewer Mill Street Brewing. If you're watching from afar from Indianapolis, try and get your hand on some Mill Street beer. Some fine beer coming out of Toronto. All right, number 4, Psykosonic out there for the Eager Beavers against C3PO. A rainbow fight for the Diggers. Fight able to push her way through. Now she's got her teammate Nasher the Smasher and Fox. That's a very intimidating duo, but nice work by Rainbow Fight to try and get around them. But as she does so, Psykosonic's able to sneak through and get lead jammer. Nice work up front by Fox and Nasher, but C3PO Rainbow Fight is very quickly overcome. Psykosonic trying to force a call off and eventually does. Psykosonic, another one of many Tri-City skaters. Tri-City has just slipped into WFTDA's Division 1. The final regular season rankings will be released tomorrow, and it is believed that they will hold on to a Division 1 playoff spot, which is kind of unfortunate because they're hosting one of the Division 2 playoffs this year on August 22nd to 24th in Kitchener-Waterloo at the Waterloo Memorial Center. They will not be there. Maiden America able to push through Machu Ichu and MIRAMBO on the inside to pick up lead jammer. La Planche once again jamming for the Diggers. Runs in. Oh, and takes a big hit from Sofonda Snatch. And Sofonda's going to drag her all the way back. Rosemary's Gayby's providing a bridge. And that allows Maiden America to get through and pick up 5 points. Nice blocking at the back of the pack.
Oh, Maiden America just doing a little matrix pause there.
Very experienced skater from Naptown Roller Girls. She's played at the highest level that the sport has to offer. Naptown, of course, 2-time participants in the WFTDA Championship Tournament. So Maiden America has played against the best of the best. And you just see that calmness in the midst of all that chaos in the back, taking big hits, but able to stay on her feet and stay focused. Now Machu Ichu and MIRAMBO trying to slow her up, could not do so. 5 more points for the Eager Beavers. We've had our first panty pass now. Oh, Maiden America from out of nowhere leaps the entirety of the apex. Machu Ichu, as she was putting the star on her head in the middle of a star pass, inadvertently stepped out of bounds, stepped back in, cut. Power jam now for Maiden America. Wow. By Furious and aims to please provide.
Fast.
Yeah. Oh, nice juke from Maiden America on the inside of that track.
She's blowing this wide open here.
Huge jam here, the 9th jam. 12 and a half minutes in to the opening half of this game.
Oh,
and MIRAMBO getting called for hitting out of bounds. Nope. Yep. And being sent off the track.
Yep.
Huge jam, though, for Maiden America, opening this game up now, 49-17 for the Beavers. Now, I always find that it usually takes about a half for the teams to kind of catch on to what it's like to play for each other.
Yeah.
Do you think that's about accurate?
I would say so.
A veteran of these Clam Slams?
Yeah, even, you maybe halfway through the first half, you're starting to get it because generally speaking, you are sticking to the same rotation of lines. That's Ruby Pubie for the Eager Beavers taking lead jammer there. Machu Picchu out of the penalty box. She is out of the pack. Ruby Pubie just hitting Hoe 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 NO.
Oh, and Sideshow Bob with a nice hit, forcing her out. Oh, and Ruby Pubie, a little lucky there as the jam was being called off as she entered the pack. Just in front of Hoe 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 NO.
Yeah.
Sideshow Bob looking pretty good out there in her first Clam Slam.
Uh-huh.
She's a third-year skater now, I believe, at least third year with Durham Region Roller Derby. Skates on the Durham Devils, their travel team. Crazy Candy back out there to jam against B Van Hellical. A slight name change for those Naptown Roller Girls fans. Now, neither jam are able to get through much now, both trying to get through the middle, both being held. B Van Hellical tries to go to the outside. Fracture falls in front of her and allows her through. Lead jammer picked up for the Naptown skater.
Cancer Candy not too far behind, though. And I've seen her make up plenty of track.
Those massive strides. Very tall skater, but B Van Hellical now in the pack looking to score. Makes a nice little pirouette on the outside.
Loses both knee pads.
But picked up all 4
points. She picks up 4 points.
Nice skating. The Eager Beavers bursting out to early 40-point lead as we near the midway mark. Clam Diggers trying to mix things up. They've got Nameless Horror now out there against Psykosonic. Nameless Horror's first jam with the heart, not the star. The heart. In this game.
I believe it's actually a clam.
I think do the Beavers have a clam? I think the Diggers have a heart.
Well, nerd, it's not really a heart.
That's not a heart?
It's a different organ.
Okay. Oh. Here's the
Look
clam.
very closely. It's a heart,
it's a
but
heart.
there is a little shape inside.
Okay.
Something that we all love here at the Clam Slam.
And speaking of Derby, Nameless Horror having a hard time getting around Fox Smolder, decides to give up that point and take the 3.
Now 60 points for the Eager Beavers. Clam Diggers sitting with 23 points. 14 minutes left in this half.
Again, don't be discouraged if there are any Clam Diggers fans out there. We saw Team Plaid Mafia come back from a 55-0 deficit last game. So this neat lead is not safe yet. By Furious now jamming for the Diggers for the first time. Maiden America out there once again takes a big hit from Hoe Hoe No, who's going to drag her back. Little CN Power versus Naptown battle going on. They will both be participants of the Division 1 playoffs, and Hoe 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 No has Maiden America's number right now. ThünderKünt, though, also dragging back By Furious. Maiden America now, I believe, being called on a cut. No, sorry, it's By Furious.
By Furious called on our cut.
Second power jam now for the Beavers, and once again, Maiden America is on the track. Dangerous. MIRAMBO goes in for a big hit, misses. Homewrecken Rocky Road, last line of defense, can't quite hold her back. Rocky Road, another Hammer City skater. Maiden America now sizing things up. ThünderKünt with a nice inside sweep, and Maiden America evading the Santa Muerte and leaving Santa on the track, dismayed and maybe a little bit odd. And Just Jes with a nice little hit, and then Hoe Hoe No is going to get a little bit of revenge now. And pulled Maiden America back as By Furious back on the track. Penalty is served. Sneaks around Sofonda Snatch at the end of the attack and gets through in her first pass.
Last one to beat is MIRAMBO. She takes a running dive.
MIRAMBO giving the people what they want. There's a big cheer from the suicide seats. MIRAMBO looked like an eager clam digger in that one, going for the big hit. Nameless Horror back out there to jam, this time against Ruby Pubie. Still 4-4 in the pack. A very clean game early on. Just 2 power jams for the Beavers. Might be the difference.
Ruby Pubie just taking that inside line, and looks like everyone was a little too eager there.
Everyone's eager. It's the Clam Slam. Mentioned earlier, I just want to also during the first game, since it's an official timeout, right now at Casa Loma here in Toronto as part of World Pride, there is a massive marriage going on, 120 couples being married as we speak. It's going on right now at Casa Loma. Most from countries where same-sex marriage is not allowed.
Right.
So a huge event occurring. We'd like to say a shout-out. Maybe if there are people watching Clam Slam on their iPhones at Casa Loma in the middle of the wedding. Congratulations to everyone involved there.
Well, this game will be available on
That's
Layer 9.
right.
So if you did attend a wedding, or maybe you were wed today, you're not actually missing a thing.
So many events going on for World Pride this year. That's actually why the Clam Slam is on a Thursday night, to not conflict with the Trans March, which is Friday night tomorrow. Some of the skaters wanted to take part in that. Oh, Nasher the Smasher and Nameless Horror having a nice little battle in the first straightaway. Nasher wins that one, forces the call off. $75-25. 50 points is the lead. 11 minutes to go in the first half of the second game. Looks like Aims to Please out there to jam.
Yep, she's been doing a lot of work in the pack as a blocker, but she's going to be taking on Hellical from the Eager Beavers.
Looks like Aims to Please and Cancer Candy switching up. Cancer Candy's wearing the stripe there for the Clam Diggers. Sofonda Snatch, who looks really strong, also coming off of a long injury layoff, over a year. Looking very good in this game. Aims to Please now shrugs off a hit from Trudy Bauchery. Jukes out MW and is your lead jammer. Nice work. Rama Aims to Please. Skates for CN Power here in Toronto. Cancer Candy with a big hit on Hellical. Stays in bounds, though. Runs into Machu Beach, who was pushing her to the outside as Aims to Please comes around to score.
Hellical just leaving the pack. That was her initial pass.
Rosemary Gayby's and Sofonda Snatch with some nice defense on Aims to Please, but Aims to Please getting helped out by Machu Ichu. She calls it off, picks up all 4. 5 points, sorry. I guess she passed Eve.
Yes, she did.
That last, before Eve got out.
Mm-hmm.
So how's it feel this year, Chrome? This is the first year. Well, no, this isn't the first year. You were injured for 1 year.
Nope. I played all 5 Clam Slams prior to this, yes.
Oh, that's right, because
I broke my
2009,
leg
it was after the Clam
Slam.
Slam. Right.
Yeah.
So how does it feel then to be on the sidelines for the first time?
It's nice.
It's kind of nice.
Yeah. It's certainly a fun event, and I have loved being a part of it. There have definitely been some milestones throughout this bout every year that have come along. My twin nieces were born during a Clam Slam.
Huh.
Actually, the only Clam Slam that ended in a tie was pretty matched up to the twin girls being born. So
amazing.
Very exciting event for me every year.
Oh. Some big hits being laid out on the track. We said this game wasn't going to be too aggressive, but nonetheless, there are some big, clean hits being laid out.
Yeah.
Hoe Hoe No on AnneXXX. AnneXXX is now rubbing her backside. That was a big fall.
Yeah.
All right, back on the track. 4-on-4 in the pack. Seeing Lock and Roll, one of the representatives from Niagara Roller Girls, one of the 16 leagues represented here at the 6th annual Clam Slam. I think that's Maiden America. You're jamming for the Eager Beavers. And La Planche once again for the Clam Diggers. Again, La Planche from Montreal. And by Furious with a nice hit on Maiden America, forcing her out. And it's Nameless Horror is going to drag her back. And La Planche, Nameless Horror's Montreal teammate, is your lead jammer. Sideshow Bob couldn't quite knock Maiden America to the inside. La Planche is coming around to score. There was 1 point exposed to the back of the pack. She's picked up a few now, gets through, has got all 4. Will she call it in time? Maiden America able to sneak in and steal 2 at the end of that jam. Nice job by the veteran Naptown block jammer to steal 2.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Clam Diggers now with my favorite number, 35. The Eager Beavers with 77. 8 minutes left in this half.
Glitterbox out there to jam for the Diggers. It's Ruby Pubie. Glitterbox plays for Durham Region. Also, though, plays for the Divas here in Toronto Roller Derby. One of the farm team skaters hoping to be drafted next season into the Toronto's House League, and makes a nice move and stays in bounds. As she kind of glided through that pack, she's your lead jammer. Ruby Pubie's got about a half a track to make up.
It's like Murder Cat taking a bit of a tip from her bench. Looks like, yep, she's going to hit it and quit it.
But it might have been a little too late again.
A little too late. Ruby Pubie steals 2.
Eager Beavers stealing their way to a bigger lead here in this game. 79-36. Hoe 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 No out there now. Santa Muerta, number 111 for the Diggers against B Van Hellical, all the way up from Indianapolis. Nice view, 3-on-3 in the pack. It's Rosemary's Gayby's on the outside, just getting beaten now by Hoe 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 No. Sofonda Snatch tries to recover at the front of the pack. Nice hits to...
Almost takes her down. Now they're toe-to-toe.
And nice work at the back of that pack from Cancer Candy. And Homewrecken Holly, the 2 Hammer City skaters, working well against B Van Hellical. Rainbow Fight now getting involved in the blocking as well. And Hoe 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 No already around to score.
And she just slides right through. Everyone working on their defense there, not really paying attention.
This might be the opportunity the Clam Diggers need to at least dig into that lead a bit. But B Van Hellical very quickly making up track. Cancer Candy able to push Rosemary's Gayby's back to make sure that the Diggers will pick up 1 more point before this jam ends, and they do. 79-42. Official timeout being called. Whew.
Woo!
What action. We're 24 minutes in the first half. This is really the first break we've had.
Yeah, it's true.
Haven't even announced the refs yet for this crew. I'd like to just take a moment to thank our refs. Of course, here we have Deuce Willis, I believe is our head ref for this game, up from Hammer City Roller Girls. Vita Breakfast from Toronto. Annie Phylactic, known as an official both on and off skates all around Ontario. Exclamation mark, who looks phenomenal. He's got My Little Pony unicorns on his butt. That's probably all I need to say about that. Some Miracle, Parking Lot, and Penalty Fox, also known as Harassing Ford, also looking pretty good in a rainbow striped ref uniform. So big thanks to the refs.
It's an officially awesome ref right there, calling the timeout.
So things being sorted out. Looks like we're ready to go once again. We've got Psykosonic jamming for the Beavers. Glitterbox for the Diggers. 4-3 pack advantage for the Clam Diggers on this one. Nasher the Smasher pivoting against By Furious in the white. And it is SoFearMe now with some nice defense at the start. Nasher the Smasher trying to hit Glitterbox out. She cannot do it. Oh, and a cut being called on Psykosonic. Power jam for the Diggers. Could be an opportunity here. Glitterbox in her first year here with Toronto Roller Derby is an experienced skater from Durham. Gets knocked by SoFearMe to the inside. Unable to draw the cut, though. Nice work by the Clam Diggers pack to keep her at the front. Glitterbox now coming around on a second scoring pass. It's a dead pack. Hoff hits her to the outside. Nasher the Smasher able to drag her back and draws the cut. Nice work from the eager Beavers pivot. Nasher, of course, one of our finest blockers here, in not only in Toronto but in Canada. An important member of Team Canada, just played for them in an exhibition against Team USA last weekend.
Penalty being called on By Furious.
Psykosonic threw in her initial pass, now able to score some points. It will be a brief power jam, although Glitterbox is already back on the track. Runs into GTA's SoFearMe at the back of the pack. Nice defense. One-on-one work from the Greater Toronto Area skater. SoFearMe being sent to the penalty box. Murdercat being dragged back. Nice work from AnneXXX. Glitterbox having a hard time as the eager Beavers are amping up the score here. Nasher with a nice little toss out, forcing Glitterbox all the way back past turn number 4, all the way to turn number 3.
Wow. Both jammers happy that jam is over.
That was a long, literally a long jam. It was 2 minutes, but long also in the punishment those jammers took. 92-51, 3.5 minutes to go. Again, this is just the first half of the second game of the 6th annual Clam Slam. Thanks for tuning in to layer9.ca. Nameless Horror. Is this Nameless Horror's 6th Clam Slam?
Yes.
Could be.
I think it could be. Yes, I think it is. MIRAMBO as well.
MIRAMBO as well, that's right. Nasher the Smasher, we mentioned.
Yep.
Hoff would have been, but she did miss last year due to injury. So Maiden America back on the track. This is her second Clam Slam. She was pretty dominant last year. She's picking up right where she left off. Having a very strong performance here. Another 5 points put on the board. Nameless Horror being drawn into the cut from Sofonda Snatch, who is very Fonda herself after that play. Nice move, though, by the Tri-City blocker to force that cut, and a power jam now for the Beavers, who have just passed the century mark. Nice defensive position here from the Diggers. They're going to have to be careful, though. LaPlanche does break off to bridge. Match you, beat you. Cannot quite push Maiden America out of bounds. It's a tall order. America back in now. ThünderKünt looks to open up the inside. Decides to let America go on her own. And one-footed, she does a nice little turn to pick up 5 more points.
Oh, Nameless Horror playing a little defense there. Doesn't really want to hit the pack quite so hard, but Maiden America fakes her out on the outside, gets her stuck behind a wall.
Nice job by the Nameless Horror, though, to very quickly switch back to offense and work her way through that pack. Nameless Horror doesn't currently skate with the new skids on the block, but she has skated for Montreal's WFTDA charter team in the past. Current member of Laurakai and also the Sexpos.
Recently back from a concussion injury
That's right.
as well. So
yeah, she missed the Beast of the East this year and has missed most of Laurakai's regular season, but is back and actually will play for them on Saturday night in Montreal.
nice.
Rainbow Fight back on the track now against B Van Hellical. Rainbow Fight trying to work her way through the outside. Rebel Rocket and Hoff working with Fox the pivot and Bouche. But Rainbow Fight looking strong in her return.
Yeah.
B Van Hellical now takes a big hit from Homewrecken Holly.
And
Now going
MIRAMBO.
MIRAMBO one-on-one.
MIRAMBO just always leaves it all out on the track.
She does.
It's amazing.
MIRAMBO has 2 switches, off and 150%. That's it. Lose Your Pants back on the track. Lose Your Pants skates for any number of leagues in Ontario, but has recently returned to Toronto Roller Derby.
Oh, and they're making a fast decision now.
Yes. Hoe 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 NO will be jamming. By Furious looking to open up the outside. She does, but it's very quickly recovered by Sofonda Snatch.
Hoe 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 NO is now lead jammer for the Clam Diggers. Trudy Bauchery just leaving the penalty, or just leaving the pack.
This is Trudy's first jam with the Star. She also came up from Indianapolis. A couple of these Naptown skaters got a taste for the Clam Slam last year, decided to come back again. It is a very phenomenal event, and I mean, I think being wrapped up with the first ever World Pride in North America also helps draw a lot of attention to this event as well. And I think that's going to bring us into halftime. No timeouts called. Time has expired. We're just going to have a very quick 10-minute halftime here. The eager Beavers all over this game, leading 118-58. Now, we did see a big comeback in the first game.
Yes.
I guess it's possible here as well.
Absolutely. Again, like we were saying earlier, it sort of takes some time to gel. There are some skaters that we didn't really see on the track very much. Also with Clam Slam, there's a policy where everyone that wants to play can play.
Yeah.
So we don't limit the roster numbers to 14. So
That's right.
there's often a lot of extra skaters, which also means sort of reduced track time or, sort of picking and choosing from who's ready and on the bench. So it could be a totally different game. You could have, bench managers reserving skaters for the second half. So it's really hard to judge this one.
Despite the score differential, it has been a very exciting game, especially for an all-star game like this. The level of talent on the track is very, very high. So don't go too far from your video screen. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to be back in about 7.5 minutes or so to set you up for the second half. For Monochrome and the ToRD TV crew, I'm the Derby Nerd. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome back, everyone. You're looking at Ted Reeve Arena here in the east end of Toronto for the 2014 Clam Slam, a World Pride affiliate event. I'm the Derby Nerd, joined by Monochrome.
I'm here.
Chrome's first Clam Slam trackside, and not on the track herself. What a half of Derby. The score, a little bit lopsided, 118 to 58 for the eager Beavers. I noticed the Clam Diggers missing Dyna Vagina.
Yeah.
A last-minute pullout of this game. That's a big difference for the Diggers. But despite that score difference, it's been a phenomenal game of roller derby so far in this half. The first half, Maiden America had 2 power jams, put up about 40 points. That is a big part of the difference right now.
Absolutely, yeah.
But as we mentioned in the first game, if you watched both games tonight, you saw a 55-point comeback made. So anything is possible here. It's about 60 points is the difference right now. I did that math really quickly.
It is 60 points.
Nice. I'm a Derby nerd, not a math nerd. All right, the eager Beavers in blue with the big lead. I guess Maiden America has been the difference maybe so far. The packs seem to be really, really evenly matched.
Absolutely. And really, it's power jam difference. You know, Maiden America had those power jams, but it's all about keeping your point scorer on the track.
Very true. And stick around after the game. Speaking of dominant performances, we're going to be giving out MVP awards after the game for both the opening game, Team U-Haul against the Plaid Mafia, and this game, the Clam Diggers and the Eager Beavers. So MVP's coming up afterwards. Also stick around. We'll have another interview from Lady Gagya and Dusty, 2 CN Power skaters. We'll do live trackside post-game interviews, so stick around for that as well. All right, looks like we're ready to get underway here in the second half. Nameless Horror out there against Maiden America, 2 very experienced skaters. That's Sofonda Snatch in the with the pivot stripe for the Beavers, and Aims to Please for the Diggers. Maiden America again working on the outside, just getting by Homewrecken Holly. She's your lead jammer. Sofonda Snatch going one-on-one now. Rebel Rock, this is the backup against Nameless Horror. Nameless Horror with some nice skating of her own to stay in bounds. She is through in her lead first pass.
Maiden America in the back of the pack there with By Furious and Aims to Please. And she has to call it off. Nameless was coming around that outside pretty fast. Hoe 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 NO ended up on the back, you know. Yeah. I don't even know what I'm saying. She ended up on the track, on her back.
On the track.
Flustered.
It is the Clam Slam.
It is. It's hot.
It's hot. It is kind of hot in here.
It is hot in here.
Ted Reeve Arena. Thanks again, though, to Mill Street for providing cold alcoholic beverages for us. And it's a big sponsor here of the GTA Roller Girls, so big thanks to them. Ruby Pubie jamming for the Eager Beavers. It's C3PO Rainbow Fight for the Clam Diggers. Neither jammer will make much headway in that first straightaway, but eventually Rainbow Fight finds a hole and is through as your lead jammer, but Ruby Pubie is about 20 feet back. These 2 skated together on Toronto Roller Derby's Death Track Dolls. I think Rainbow Fight's slowing down just so she can go one-on-one against Rainbow Fight.
I think so.
Some jammer-on-jammer action.
Tap, tap, tap.
Belfast gets by. Oh, and just evades that butt slap, too, from Rainbow Fight. Nice to see Rainbow Fight back on the track and looking pretty healthy out there, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
She'll have a couple exhibition.
Nothing happened.
Yeah. She'll have a couple exhibition, or not exhibition games, but she'll have a couple pre-tournament games with CN Power before she has to play in the WFTDA playoffs. we look forward to seeing her there.
Cancer Candy jamming in the white there for the Eager Beavers. Sorry, the Clam Diggers. Eager Beavers are stuck at the back. That's Bevan Hellical.
Took a big hit, did a nice job to stay in bounds. Now coming up against By Furious and Nameless Horror and Sideshow Bob. 3 intimidating blockers, but she stays on her feet through it all and gets through on her initial pass.
Meanwhile, Cancer Candy just has 1 to beat in the blue. And she does get a back block major.
Actually, it was a low block.
Low block.
Looked like a back block from here, too. But Deuce Willis, who is Cancer Candy's home league ref down the highway in Hammer City.
So this will be a power jam for Bevan Hellical.
Nice defense from Nameless Horror, just killing some time on this power jam. As I mentioned, we are using the full WFTA rule set. No changes or alterations made. Nice defense here again from the Clam Diggers, trying to kill off this power jam by Furious, the last line of defense. Pushes Bevan Hellical to the outside, but is forced to let her go.
Cancer Candy now out of the penalty box. And there is a wall of blue to meet her, but she gets through quite easily.
Nice job from Cancer Candy. This is her second Clam Slam, as we mentioned. Bevan Hellical trying to call it off. And she being called for skating out of bounds. She was not lead jammer. Skated out of bounds, hoping to call it off. And instead picks up a penalty. So now power jam for the Diggers. This has been a very good jam for Cancer Candy, trying to get their team back into it. Nameless Horror trying to open up a lane on the inside. Cancer Candy didn't go there. Got caught up in the inside and now is facing off against all 4 Eager Beaver blockers. Nice quick re-entry, just staying ahead of MW.
And she picks up 4 points.
2 points were scored by Bevan Hellical before she went to the box. They're just being added to the scoreboard now. 132-71, not quite doubling up. The Clam Diggers are the Eager Beavers, just over 4 minutes into the second half. La Planche jamming now for the Diggers, looking for a little bit of a pushback here early in the second half. Power start for the Clam Diggers in white. Nice back wall holding her at the back of the pack on the first straightaway. Diggers trying to open the outside. Nice recycling and just resetting at the front by the Eager Beavers. Nasher the Smasher in a good position at the front of the pack with Fox. Those two have been working very well together all game. Both members of Team Ontario.
That experience certainly helps. And Bevan Hellical sneaks out of the penalty box and takes lead jammer.
Nice job by the Eager Beavers to lock down the defense, holding La Planche in the pack. Lose your pants. The pivot for Eager Beavers, trying to work some offense, but cannot break that tight defensive wall. AnneXXX now bridging that wall. SoFearMe as well, leaving Fox and Nasher, a dynamic duo at the front of the pack, to hold back La Planche, and they are doing so very well on the second straightaway. Aims to please, though, and Homewrecken Holly dragging back Bevan Hellical, forcing her back to turn number 1. A big hit by Homewrecken Holly once again.
That pack was all over the place. And 1 point picked up by Bevan Hellical.
Wow. 1 point for both jammers. They seem to do a lot of work for just 1 point between them. This is also, I believe, Homewrecken Holly's second Clam Slam as well, I believe. Did she play in the first game last year?
Yes. So nice step up from her.
Yeah, big. There's been a big rebuild going on in Hammer City. They kind of pushed for a D2 playoff spot. Couldn't quite make it there this season, but look out for them next season in the Division 2 playoffs. Psykosonic now jamming for the Eager Beavers. It's Hoe 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 NO for the Diggers, and she's able to dig her way through a front wall and pick up lead jammer.
Psykosonic still stuck at the back there. She's got the whole pack there just peeling one after another off. Unfortunately fractured, just tripped over her own toe stops. But Hoe 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 NO is lead. She picked up her 4 points just as ThünderKünt is going to the penalty box.
Hey, I just noticed that Ketchup and Mustard have entered the building. It wouldn't be a Toronto Roller Derby event without Ketchup and Mustard.
It's the truth. Oh, and they're eating a hot dog.
That seems fitting as well.
It is.
All right, back on the track. We've got skaters at the pivot line. Skaters at the pivot line. Hoff and Rebel Rocket thinking it's 2009 all over again.
That's all 2007.
Yeah, they've been playing together that long. Well, actually, no, I guess Rebel Rocket was on the Bruisers with you back then.
Yes, she was.
They were playing against each other for that long.
Yes.
Okay.
And Rebel with those long legs, it's the best to put that toe stop on that pivot line and draw those hips back, force those penalties.
Cancer Candy and Sideshow Bob with the jams of their lives right now, holding off Maiden America. Sideshow Bob, of course, playing for a non-WFTDA league, hitting way above her weight class, having a strong game here at the Clam Slam.
Mm-hmm. Nameless Horror doing some great deking there. Beats out Rebel Rock this. Calls it and picks up 4 points for the Clam Diggers.
Nameless Horror also looking very strong coming off of injury, concussion.
Just nice, calm confidence, which is really nice to see, especially in a jammer. It's really easy to get frustrated or, whipped up. And she just waits for the holes to open and takes them.
Which maybe is a patience she didn't always have in her past.
No.
But looking strong tonight. Rainbow Fight, speaking of looking strong, just pushing through that wall as she is known to do. And just once again, just ahead of Ruby Pubie. This is turning into a great battle. The former teammates from the Toronto Roller Derby's House League, Deathrack Dolls. Oh, and speaking of dolls, Aims to Please coming in. They're trying to eat that baby. Rainbow Fight and Aims to Please working together to swallow her up. But Ruby Pubie
maintains.
Scrappily gets out of it. She knew exactly what was happening.
Yep.
And she's still smiling about it. Nice job.
The problem with playing against players that you play with is that you know what drills you've worked on with the dolls.
Oh, I thought Ruby Pubie might have stolen a point there too, but she did not. 2-0 was the jam for Rainbow Fight. Yeah, a lot of three skaters there know each other very well.
Mm-hmm.
Having some fun on this track. Glitterbox in the white for the Clam Diggers. It is
B Van
Hellical.
Jamming for the Eager Beavers.
4-on-4 in the pack. Nasher the Smasher is your Beavers pivot. And it's Fracture now skating for Tri-City in the white. Oh, B Van Hellical going through Fracture on the inside, but not able to pick up lead jammer. Nasher the Smasher now going up against Glitterbox. Last line of defense. MIRAMBO going in to work some offense. Two veterans going out at the front of that pack. And it is Glitterbox, though, taking the worst of it.
Trips over the ref. Has to be called all the way back by Nasher the Smasher. Meanwhile, B Van Hellical has all of the Clam Diggers on her.
Nice job. And this is a totally mixed line, too, with Lose Your Pants and MIRAMBO and Fracture, but playing very well together. Fracture, I guess, a transfer from Forest City, so she and MIRAMBO do know each other well. Fox Mulder and MIRAMBO having a battle now at the front of the pack as each team tries to control the pace of this. Bouche going one-on-one against Glitterbox. Glitterbox gets through on the inside, decides to make a pass, and Fracture tries to sprint out of the pack. MIRAMBO again with the offense. Fox Mulder just knocking Fracture to the outside and forcing her all the way back. Nice heads-up play.
Oh, half a track back, too.
Speaking of teammates knowing each other, they both play for the Tri-City Thunder. Oh, and B Van Hellical was worried she got drawn back by Glitterbox, and she would have cut two because of Fox Mulder's drag back. But despite having to take that extra time, she does get through and pick up 5 points, so 5 more points on the board for the Eager Beavers. And Fracture having not much more luck than Glitterbox did.
B Van Hellical coming back around.
This is
asking for a little help there. She's stuck behind MIRAMBO. Fracture just gets one skate ahead of her.
Fox heading to the penalty box. It'll be a slight pack advantage for the Diggers on the next jam.
And that was 4 points for the Eager Beavers, 0 points for the Clam Diggers. 143 points now for the Eager Beavers. Clam Digger is sitting with 86. There's 18 minutes left in this half.
Still time. Less
Still
than
time.
60 points. 57 points.
Maybe you are the math nerd.
I could do subtraction. Cancer Candy. Getting some help from Bi Furious to get through that pack, pick up lead jammer for the Diggers, and Psykosonic getting knocked to the outside. You know, in Eager Beavers, I've noticed have not been jamming Made in America as much this half, kind of trying to spread out their jammer rotation a bit, give everyone an opportunity. And Cancer Candy having a strong game, picking up another scoring pass, another 5 points on a Grand Slam, as Psykosonic having a hard time getting through this pack. Machu, Ichu, and Nameless Horror at the front. Working well together.
Cancer Candy stealing that 5th point.
Psykosonic doesn't like that too much, trying to catch up to her now as Cancer Candy goes into that wall of blue at the back, calls it.
Picks up 1 point.
And none for Psykosonic.
Nice pickup for the Clam Diggers.
Yeah, so not as many leagues represented in this game as we saw in the first, but nonetheless, still quite a few, from Naptown in Indianapolis to Forest City in London, Ontario, all the way up to Durham Region in Peterborough.
Speaking of Made in America, she's out on
There
the track
she is.
again.
Oh, and against Rainbow Fight, too, an interesting
Yeah.
battle. Both these skaters will be jammers for their respective WFTDA Division 1 teams coming up in the playoffs starting in September, and Rainbow Fight making quick work of this Eager Beavers pack all on her own, but nice recycling from them. Eventually able to sneak by Bouche on the inside of turn 4 to pick up lead jammer. And Made in America in the box.
Yeah. I didn't catch that call, but happened on the far corner, and now Rainbow Fight
Yeah, as we near
has the advantage.
As we near the halfway point of the second half, suddenly the lead is getting narrower and narrower. And I think Rainbow Fight's going to pass the century mark for the Diggers right here. 5 points on the board. Suddenly it's 41. 2 minutes ago I said it was just under 60, so the Diggers coming back. Nasher the Smasher unable to hit out her teammate Rainbow Fight. Rainbow Fight makes a nice move around SoFearMe and Bouche to get all
And
the
then Made in
points.
America did the exact
Wow.
same thing.
That was, it was like
in the same spot.
carbon copy. Looks like Rainbow's going to try and pick up a few points before she calls it off. Hits the pack hard, calls it off as she does so. Gets one more. Oh, but Made in America steals 2. Nonetheless, Diggers cutting into that lead, 145 to 107. The crowd's been kind of quiet here, but maybe starting to sense that the tide is turning a little bit in this game. Lots of time remains. Nameless Horror back out there with the jammer panty on her head.
The heart.
Another pivot line
something
start. Or something else. Ruby Pubie, though, is out first. Gets knocked to the outside by MIRAMBO and Hoe 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 NO, and Fracture working well together. Fracture now is the last line of defense. Cannot quite hold Ruby Pubie. Lead jammer going to the Eager Beavers. Nameless Horror gets knocked to the end by Sofonda Snatch. And a re-entry.
Back. She does cut the track. And Ruby Pubie is the soul jammer.
Nice work by MW, known to Tri-City fans as Meow Wallace, to get that cut out of Nameless Horror. And now Ruby Pubie has an opportunity to give the Eager Beavers a big lead again. Ruby Pubie
absorbing some huge hits there. Hoe Hoe NO and MIRAMBO just took a chunk out of her, but she just kept moving forward. Picked up 5 points on that pass.
It's been the biggest difference for me this season with Ruby Pubie is it's just tougher. Oh!
Yeah.
Homewrecken Holly, though, testing that toughness. And that's going to nice hit from the Hammer City blocker on Ruby Pubie. But Ruby Pubie's having a phenomenal year playing for Toronto's Death Track Dolls and the Bay Street Bruisers. $155 to 107, 13 minutes to go. If for some reason you're sitting at home watching this game thinking, God, I wish I was there with all these roller girls hanging out You still have time to get to the Steady, the after party tonight, hosted by the Deadly Viper Assassination Squad, Toronto Roller Derby's farm team.
Especially for you West Enders that thought
right.
maybe Ted Reeve was a little too east.
Yeah.
It's in your home hood.
That's right. Just Bloor and Ossington, or thereabouts.
Yep. East of Dufferin.
Just east of Dufferin.
Yeah.
I've been there. It's a great venue, great food, nice beer selection.
Very
Good
important for an after-party venue.
Timeout being called by the Clam Diggers. Once again, I'd like to point out that this is a World Pride affiliate event. This is the first ever World Pride held on North American soil. I think Toronto's pretty proud to be those initial hosts.
Yeah, it's everywhere. And Pride is always a big deal in Toronto. Yeah. It is always a week-long event, but, adding that extra weekend to World Pride, and really, I'm really stoked about this weekend's marches and both the celebration and the political activism and everything that's being rolled up into this particular Pride just seems to have a little bit extra importance to it.
It for sure it does. There's also like the World Pride Conference that is happening concurrently with the festival, and so there's a lot of serious issues being discussed as well as a lot of fun being had.
Yes.
Which is
both
at the heart of it all.
Important.
Yes. But yeah, we have 3 marches, of course, coming up this weekend. The Trans March tomorrow night, which is why we've moved the Clam Slam to a Thursday this year. Dyke March, of course, coming up as well, and of course the major Pride Parade, which has got to be one of the best Pride parades in the world here in Toronto. I would think. The next World Pride will be in Madrid, Spain, which is a pretty exciting venue. as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we're back underway. Timeouts are done.
Hoe 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 NO is lead jammer for the Clam Diggers. AnneXXX going to the penalty box for the Eager Beavers.
So once again, the Clam Digger is going to try and dig into this lead. Hoe 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 NO has been jamming quite a bit.
Yeah. Normally a blocker for CN Power, but she's really showing her mettle.
And nice work here by the Diggers to stretch out as Ruby Pubie re-enters, making sure that Ruby Pubie has to re-enter way at the back. Buying Hoe 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 NO a little more time now. Fox Mulder, the last line of defense, finally forced to let her go. 5 more points on the board for the Diggers. First pass is finished for Ruby Pubie. Opportunity here for the Diggers to pick up at least 1 more point, as long as Rocky Road and the other blockers can hold her back. Oh!
She steals another point. Ruby Pubie picked up 2 points in that pass.
Wow.
Santa Muerta. Sorry. Hoe 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 NO.
Although Machu Ichu made Ruby Pubie pay for those 2 points hard with a big hit, but nonetheless, the points are scored. 12 minutes to go, 157, 118. Sofonda Snatch with their first jam of the game.
Against Nameless Horror.
It's been great to see Sofonda back on the track, looking so strong as well, and breaks through just past Sideshow Bob to take up lead jammer status. Nameless Horror, though, already dictating to her pack to keep it moving, to buy her some time. There's a lot of blue skaters in the back of the pack. Nameless Horror is going to steal a couple, at least 2.
She picked up all 4.
4-4. Nice work, Nameless Horror.
Just looking quite pleased with that.
Stealing 4. Rosemary's Gayby's in the penalty box. 4-3 pack advantage for the Diggers as Rainbow Fight comes back to the jam line.
I believe that's one of Naptown skaters. I'm not sure if that's Trudy or... Can't even see the socks.
Can't see anything. I see Rainbow Fight now. Spurts through on the outside. Hits into Nasher the Smasher. Takes a nice little leap, but gets knocked to the outside by Nasher again. A quick re-entry. Rainbow so quick on those re-entries. Picks up lead jammer. Still haven't seen the Eager Beaver jammer.
That's Trudy Bauchery.
Oh, it is Trudy Bauchery.
Yep.
Okay. It is one of the Naptown skaters.
And I wasn't holding on to that information. I literally just saw her name. And the Rainbow Fight picks up 5 points for the Clam Diggers.
Again, the Diggers, once again, marching back. Still lots of time on the clock, 10 minutes to go. And, Rainbow. She
right
actually
through that wall.
faked a juke and then just went straight.
Yep, yep. Trudy Bauchery getting hit out. Machu Ichu.
Wow, another nice pass from Rainbow Fight. Again, having her way with her CN Power teammate, Nasher the Smasher, who's decided now to try and work some offense. But Clam Diggers are coming all the way back. Will we have a late comeback yet again?
We may very well.
Oh, Nasher finally able to knock Rainbow Fight out. Machu Picchu tried to knock Nasher out. Nasher had none of that.
Nope.
But it does look like Nasher's going to head to the penalty box.
So 22 points separate these teams.
Nasher the Smasher just came back from Philadelphia, where she played an exhibition friendly for Team Canada against Team USA. They had the strong offensive performance against Team USA. Scored 92 points.
Not bad.
Gave up 356, but they scored 92 points, which is a lot. Nameless Horror now out there to jam, going up against MW, able to power her way through and pick up lead jammer once again for the Diggers. That's a couple in a row now as they try to come back. Psykosonic getting dragged back to the back of the pack. La Planche working with Lose Your Pants and Hoe 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 NO and Rocky Road out there for the Diggers.
Nameless Horror just making her way through. Oh! And that is a cut penalty for Psykosonic. Another power jam now for Nameless Horror.
15 points is the difference. And the Diggers have a power jam. 8.5 minutes to go. Nameless Horror coming up, weaving her way through. She's already picked up at least 2 points. Lock and roll, and Nasher the Smasher doing a nice job trying to protect their points, but Nameless Horror just too strong, able to power through for 5.
And ThünderKünt being pulled back to the back.
Nameless Horror casually calling that off as she saw Psykosonic standing. There will be a power start for the Diggers, who are suddenly within 12 points.
Amazing. Another thing I love about Clam Slam, the games are always so tight. It's like picking your dream teams. You literally get all of these skaters coming in and saying, I want to play this game, and I don't care what color I wear, and I don't care who I skate with. I just want to play Clam Slam. And then as those bench managers and the organizers, you get to say, this is what I want. I want to see Cancer Candy jamming, and I want to see what Psykosonic does when she flies out of the penalty box and is hit by MIRAMBO.
She spins around and stays on her feet. Wow. I have a feeling this is going to come down to the wire once again. 7 minutes to go. 12 points is the difference. Eager Beavers have climbed all the way back.
Yep. Bevan Hellical jamming for the Eager Beavers, and that is Rainbow Fight once again for the Clam Diggers.
The Rainbow Fight having a strong second half here, trying to get her team back into it. She just looks stronger as this game is going on. Trudy Bauchery trying to hold her. Sofonda Snatch now trying to take a turn too, but Rainbow Fight is through once again. And you can just see her confidence coming back as this game goes on. Huge opportunity now here for the Diggers. Oh, but Evan Hellical is through. So no more than...
Rainbow's going to call it. She's got the 4 points.
But that 4 points makes it an 8-point game with 6 to go.
Nameless Horror jamming for the Clam Diggers. And that's Made in America. Eager Beavers pulling out the big guns.
Yeah, Beavers now suddenly seeing this game slipping away from them. That's Mazel Tov running the bench for the Beavers. Along with Tear Apart. Wow, so that's a lot of experience on the bench. Get your kicks and Lobo Palooza on the other bench. Oh, Nameless Horror being sent off in a penalty box. This could stem a little bit of this comeback for the Diggers, as Made in America, who has done a lot of damage already this game on a power jam. And it's a full ToRD line. So this, and not only is it a full ToRD line, it's a Chicks Ahoy line full of current and past members of the Chicks Ahoy. So this is skaters who know each other well.
Yep.
Maiden America just eating it up. Loving the help she's getting, or the lack of help, I should say, from her.
Yeah. From the passive derby stance.
Sometimes when you have a jammer as but Nasher with a perfectly timed sweep. Wonderful offense from the Eager Beavers pivot. Bouche now on the outside, and Maiden America sees it, takes the lane. Unbelievable power jam here late for the Eager Beavers. 4:40 to go. Nameless Horror back on the track, going one-on-one against Maiden America. Maiden America kind of falls. Nameless Horror goes into the pack. Gets by Rebel Rock this. Trying to work the inside of Nasher the Smasher, trying to push her off that inside line. She does, but Maiden America also taking that lane. And that was an initial pass for Horror, so no points. 4 more on the board for Maiden. Maiden now trying to get by Nameless Horror in the second straightaway. Oh, looks to push her out of bounds, but Nameless Horror with some nice skating stays in. Forces the call off. Oh, and 1 point. She is getting the 1 point for the jammer pass.
Nice.
Good smart jamming from Maiden America. 186 now to 153. The Eager Beavers able to pull ahead again. 4 minutes to go. Going right back with Rainbow Fight. Speaking of bench coaches getting to know their teams.
Yes.
Starting to shorten that rotation.
Yep. And up against Ruby Pubie once again. So this could really go either way.
This has been a very great and entertaining and great battle all night. Once again, though, Rainbow Fight with Sofonda Snatch, but this time Sofonda Snatch able to knock her inside and out of bounds. Oh, and Rainbow's just going to call it off. Smart play. Don't want to kill too much clock. She'd already picked up lead jammer status. And it looks like the Diggers have narrowed their jammer rotation to 2. Nameless Horror and Rainbow Fight.
Do what works. Beaver and Hellical jamming for the Eager Beavers.
4-on-4 in the pack. By Furious pivoting for the Diggers. Her CM Power teammate Nasher the Smasher pivoting for the Eager Beavers. And Evan Hellical getting very defensive right off the start, trying to push Nameless Horror outside. Nameless Horror, though, able to ride that block. And now working against the 4 wall at the front. Trying to get by Psykosonic on the inside. Oh, and a nice little toe stop stepping from Horror. Looking for some crowd recognition. Nice skating from the Montreal skater. She takes her time. I don't know if they have a lot of time to work with, though. Only 2.5 minutes left on the clock. Nameless Horror trying to tell her blockers to get out of the way so she can get some points before she has to call it off. Maybe just one. 1-1.
Yeah, 1-1.
Hoe 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 NO. Now jumping into the jammer rotation for the Diggers. She's going to be up against, Rebel Rock This.
Rebel Rock This. We haven't seen her jam yet.
Has Rebel Rock This always Rebel Rock This?
No, it's Rebel Rock It.
But I mean at Clam Slam.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. But Rebel Rock This. Former skater with CM Power now back with Chicks Ahoy in Toronto Roller Derby's House League.
Oh,
wow. So fun to
both
snatch.
jammers taking some tumbles.
Rebel's
panty fell off. She's got to readjust her clam.
Oh, Sofonda with some nice one-on-one work against Hoe 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 NO. Oh, nice defense. And now Rosemary's Gayby's allowed to get back in as Sofonda able to push her back into the pack. And that's going to buy time for Rebel Rock This to get through and pick up lead jammer. And that might be the dagger in the Clam Diggers' hearts. Amazing work from the defense. And nice persistence from Rebel. Under a minute to go. We've had penny pass now. Machu Ichu is picking up the star. MIRAMBO opens up a little bit of a hole for her, but Sofonda able to very quickly reset at the front of that pack.
Sofonda having a killer bout.
Unbelievable.
Tonight.
Looks like this is exactly where she seemed to be when she did suffer her injury, and I was a little worried she would lose a step or two, but does not seem to be the case.
Nope.
Oh, and Rebel pushing through Sideshow Bob to pick up final points. 2 points in that pass. Under 30 to go. Timeout being called for the Diggers to ensure one more jam, but it's going to take a monstrous jam now to come back.
Yes.
193 to 154. Hey, you're taking a look at exclamation mark there. You just saw him skate by your camera. Do you see those shorts? It's pretty sweet.
Epic.
There's our two best dressed refs. Penalty Fox and exclamation mark on the right and left. Yes, those are My Little Pony unicorns. On exclamation mark shorts.
Are they Pegasuses as well? Are they winged? I think it's all the things
that might be
on
too
those
much.
pants.
Might be too much.
Oh, sorry, they're kisses, I think. Either way, majestic.
Yes, definitely. Thanks again if you've been tuning in all night. What a night it's been. 3 hours now of flat track roller derby here at the 2014 World Pride. We're at Ted Reeve Arena, the east end of Toronto. 6th annual Clam Slam. I think a team is actually called an official review. The Clam Diggers have actually called an official review.
Interesting.
Yeah. Do stick around after the game. As we mentioned, we're going to have some post-game interviews with Lady Gaga and Dusty. You never know what's going to happen when they are doing the interviews. We'll also have some MVP awards to give out. So stick around for that. There's the refs conferring. Miracle recently named the new head ref in Toronto Roller Derby.
Congratulations, Miracle.
Also got Deuce Willis, who at least last season was the head ref in Hammer City. So an all-star
Season
ref crew as well. Yeah,
absolutely.
Parking Lot and Harass and Ford have both been head refs in Toronto as well. So yeah, very experienced ref crew. Parking Lot explaining the decision of the refs. Again, thanks for tuning in. Happy Pride if you're here in Toronto. If you're not, why aren't you here?
Well, if you're not, happy Pride wherever you are.
Yeah, wherever you are.
It is the 45th anniversary, not today, but this weekend of Stonewall.
Oh, yeah.
And that is why Pride is this week every year.
45th anniversary.
45 years since Stonewall, if you can believe it.
All right, back underway, and what could be the final jam, and Maiden America almost fittingly picks up a lead jammer status, and Rainbow Fight is going to be right on her tail. She can get by Fox. She eventually is able to juke her way around the Tri-City blocker.
Maiden America just killing time. She's watching that clock.
She did take a look, just gets knocked out of bounds by Aims to Please at exactly 0, hits her hips. Eager Beavers win the main event here at Clam Slam 2014. It did look in doubt at one point as the Clam Diggers ferociously
very, very close.
Clammed their way back in this one, but couldn't quite come all the way back. And they fall 193 to 154. There they are, the Eager Beavers. Unbelievable team featuring many stars from Tri-City Roller Derby like Sofonda, Snatch, Naptown Roller Girls, Maiden America, Toronto Roller Derby skaters like Nasher the Smasher. Very impressive lineup. Now the Eager Beavers are taking their victory lap. A really nice crowd here at Ted Reeve Arena.
Yes.
For a Thursday night derby, a rare event. And once again, we're also going to give a victory lap to the vanquished. There they are, the Clam Diggers, led by Cancer Candy in her second Clam Slam. Very important skater in the rebirth of Hammer City Roller Girls, leading the way. By Furious right behind her. Rainbow Fight from Toronto Roller Derby there as well. Impressive performance by them. Newfie Bullet. Another big thing that we haven't talked a lot about this year, but we really focused on last year, is that this is the second straight year that this has been a co-sponsored event between the GTA Roller Girls and Toronto Roller Derby.
Yes. Ted Reeve Arena is the home of the GTA Roller Girls, so it's apt that we're able to host it here. Pretty close to all of the Pride happenings on.
Yeah.
But it's nice to sort of rekindle that relationship that there was a bit of a split and we were going separate ways, and now with Clam Slam we're able to come together and work on an awesome bout.
Yeah, this is a very healthy community, the flat track roller derby community here in Toronto. 4 senior women's leagues. We also, of course, have a men's league and now a junior league as well. So a lot of derby being played And I think representatives from all of those leagues here tonight, certainly. And there's Jaxalotopus being congratulated on an excellent. She got to play and announce. Get to do it all. Mr. Wenser, we heard on the mic earlier.
We can have the MVP award
announcing.
in the center of the track so we can hand it out.
All right, we are now waiting. I think we're waiting for our announcement of MVPs. Mr. Wenser coming over to the desk. There it is, the MVP awards for this game.
I lost them. Where'd he go? Where'd Wenser go? Wenser is moving around.
See if I can find the other four.
Wenser, where the fuck are you going?
All right, so again, thanks for sticking around. Stick around. We are going to have the MVP awards. There they are, the actual awards themselves. Like Jaxalotopus for staying the first game. She's one of the host announcers, my co-host announcer at Durham Regional Roller Derby. She also calls for everyone seeing me in Ontario, one of the Derby games, Peterborough, Northumberland, Lindsay. She also skates with a lot of those leagues as well.
While we wait for the MVP awards, do you want to throw a couple of t-shirts in the crowd?
And we've got t-shirts and medals being given to the MVP skaters.
Giving them out to the fans.
All right, Wenser's going to throw it.
Hangers on.
Hey, I just saw Cranky Pants, the legendary announcer from Toronto Roller Derby. You can still hear his voice up in Sudbury, the Nickel City Roller Girls. We are about to announce the MVPs for the first game. We can actually help you with those as well. So if you were tuning in earlier, you saw the Plaid Mafia come back to defeat the U-Haul, Team U-Haul 194 to 178. We're going to give the MVPs first to Team U-Haul. MVP blocker, smashing good time from the Hammer City Roller Girls. Second straight year in a row, Hammer City Roller Girls have kind of outshined everyone in that opening game. So smashing good time is your MVP blocker. There she is, receiving the reward. Phenomenal game, mostly blocking, but also very effective as a jammer as well. MVP jammer for the U-Haul, Vagina Dentata.
Otherwise known as Beaver Mansbridge.
That's right.
For Toronto Roller Derby.
Yep. And where is she? It's Vagina Dentata, a.k.a. Beaver Mansbridge.
Oh, there she is.
There she is.
She's dressed and showered.
In Gorgor leopard print.
Yep.
To skate for Toronto Roller Derby's Gorgor Roller Girls. Began her career with the GTA Roller Girls fitting in with Pro Mollies, one of their former host league teams. And for the Plaid Mafia, the blocking MVP is Tits Tits Tits. Also known as Slaughterhouse Streeter.
Her name is funny, yeah.
For you fans of Tri-City Roller Derby. Vagilante is your MVP jammer from the Plaid Mafia. There she is, also caught off guard.
She also skates for Toronto Roller Derby as Wechter.
Skates for the Smoke City Betties. Right. And now awaiting the MVPs from our second game between the Eager Beavers and the Clam Diggers.
Sorry, I just bumped the camera.
Still getting those names written down?
We don't know these either.
No,
we're
we don't.
learning these as they're happening.
It's true.
I will admit we were tipped off about the MVPs from the first game. But we don't know what's going to happen here. So we're as excited as you are. probably make some guesses. I think Maiden America probably got a little bit of a
nod
nod
for sure.
for MVP. And we start with the Clam
Your
Beavers.
MVP blocker is Aims to Please.
Aims to Please, the MVP blocker for the Clam Diggers. Aims to Please is known as Aims to Kill. Skates for Toronto Roller Derby's CN Power.
And for the Clam Diggers, your MVP jammer,
Santa.
Ho 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 No.
Ho 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 No, your MVP jammer. Speaking of CN Power, she also skates for Toronto Roller Derby's CN Power. Ho 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 No is your MVP jammer. So Aims to Please. Ho Ho No.
Your heavy hitter MVP blocker.
Eager Beavers now up next. The Victors.
No surprise here, the one and only Sofonda.
And the MVP is Sofonda Snatch. Wow. Awesome.
Yep. Not surprising in the least.
See her come back and play so strongly. I know she has been on the track already for Tri-City since her comeback, but it's still been weeks. It's only been weeks she's been back in competitive derby, so great to see her playing. Sofonda Snatch is your MVP. MVP jammer is
Ruby Pubie,
Ruby Pubie.
also known as Belfast.
Skates for the Toronto Roller Derby champions, the Death Track Dolls, and for the Bay Street Bruisers. So there it is. I believe we may be turning things over trackside now to Lady Gaga and Dusty, members of CN Power, for some trackside interviews. All right, we are going to do that. We're going to throw it now to Lady Gaga and Dusty. They're going to close out the show for you with some trackside interviews. Stick around. We know that we've got at least Nameless Horror coming up. That's all we're going to tease you with. Perhaps you may see Maiden America as well. So, throwing it now trackside, here is Lady Gaga and Dusty with post-game interviews.
Are we live? Pussy world, pussy time, excellent. Woo, 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 woo. Hi, welcome to Clam Slam 2014. I'm here with Nameless Horror, Maiden America, and Hoff, 3 staples of Clam Slam. They keep coming back every year. And come in. I just had a question for Hoff. She's been a huge staple for Clam Slam for the last, I think, 5 or 6 years we've been doing it. How does it feel? What keeps bringing you back? And what does it mean for you to play in Clam Slam?
This year I think was really important for the Clam Slam because I got a chance to skate with a lot of people that I haven't had a chance to skate with in I guess about 3 years. So some of my own teammates and some amazing league mates that I haven't had a chance to skate with. You learn so much from skating with people that you don't get a chance to play with. The game is changing and it's an amazing experience.
That's awesome. I saw you in some old school lineups today. That was really exciting. Awesome. I'll leave it to.
All right. Yes. All right. Maiden America. I know that you come from far away, from the great land of Indianapolis. What keeps bringing you back to Toronto's Pride every year? I know this is World Pride this year, but there's got to be something more.
Well, some of my best friends live in Kitchener and they skate for Tri-City. We met a couple years at WIFTACon, and when they skated in the Clam Slam 2 years ago, it was just awesome to watch, and I was like, if there's anything that can bring me to Toronto to celebrate Pride with them, I'm going. So we made it out last year. It was a blast, and then just finding out that this year's World Pride, I mean, we just had to make it work again, and it's just so much fun to come play super competitive roller derby. I mean, this is some hard-hitting action that you wouldn't necessarily expect for just a funsies bout like this, but I mean, it's seriously awesome competition, just awesome people, just being around everybody just feels so good. Like, it's just a great empowering experience that I would recommend to anybody.
Yeah, totally. Tri-City is amazing, and that was some really hard-hitting action out there. Nameless, you are also here at Clam Slam every single year, I believe.
My 5th year. I haven't been to the first one.
5 years. That's really effing intense. So how was your Clam Slam this time? What has been your favorite experience so far? Or did you just arrive?
I don't know. It was fun. Like every year, I love playing with people, especially like every year. The team's always a mix-ups, always something new. It's something meet always the same people. And
Are you staying for the weekend to party?
I will only be staying for tonight, but unfortunately I have to go back to Montreal for a home bout.
It's all right. Back to the real world. Are you staying for the weekend?
Yes, I will be here all weekends.
Amazing. And Hoff, you live here?
Yep, I'm here.
All right, amazing. Well, this is Pussy and
Pussy 2 time.
signing off.